So welcome to the Omnichord unboxing video, and we're here at Suzuki Europe Ltd today, and I'm with my good friend Howard Johnson. You may know me, Darren Brown, from Omnichord-Heaven. So 43 years.
Is it that long?
Yeah, since the original Omnichord was released.
Oh yes, you've got it written down.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
43, it's a long run, isn't it? Yes.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
And I know that Suzuki have been very proud of the Omnichord over the years.
Mm.
And when you think back, well, we don't really think back to that time, but...
I haven't got time to think back.
No, so it's 40,000 units were sold in that first year, and I was thinking that's amazing. You know, now we've got the internet that we can use to advertise things on, but then they had to do it the hard way.
Yeah.
So it was advertising in magazines, and you mentioned about how the original distributor in the UK sold them.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes, I probably did. Yeah, I think it was Craftmaster in the UK that were the first company to take it to the BMF show in London.
It's a British Music Fair.
British Music Fair, yeah. Sorry, yeah. No, I think it was the home. What's the home?
Ideal Home Exhibition.
Ideal Home Exhibition, that's right. And they employed students and gave them a fee for just strumming and singing along with the Omnichord, and they sold hundreds and hundreds. It was absolutely amazing.
And you said they needed very little floor space to do that as well.
They hired about a small, maybe one metre square or something, whatever it was, a very small space, and they would just take turns. They had a number of students who were eager to get some money, and who liked, you know, to sing and play along, and they were just having a whale of a time, and it sold lots of units.
Yeah, it's amazing. Maybe you're one of those that were at those shows. I know we speak to people regularly that were at the Ideal Home Exhibition, or others that still own their first OM-27 from that show. Would have been the brown one that they bought, and then of course other avenues. We've got people like Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois to thank.
David Bowie.
David
Bowie.
Yeah, I love that video that he did, the charity video, sitting across the stage.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And since there's been all sorts of producers and musicians and songwriters that have helped the Omnichord story to develop, right down to today, where we've got sort of musicians that are writing songs on their own and just releasing them over on social media.
Yes, that's
really interesting story. So here we are in 2024. It's actually 71 years for Suzuki since their anniversary. They were hoping to release this for the 70th anniversary, but turned into a bigger project than they expected, and we're very glad of that as well.
Yeah.
So shall we open this box? So you'd be interested to know, I haven't yet opened an Omnichord box. So we've had a little peek inside the brown box, but I haven't yet looked into what's... Would you like to do that, Howard?
I think you should have the honour to do that, Dan.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I mean, you've had a lot of input into the design of this new product, the new Omnichord, and I think it's nice that there's been a lot of incorporation of lots of the good bits from lots of previous Omnichords over the years. I think that's right.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the briefs. We've been, for the last 2 years, it's over 2 years now since Suzuki originally came up with this idea. Yeah. And I know that they've been listening to you guys to see what it is you want, and it became clear it wasn't just an OM-27 reproduction. So they put a lot of effort into this. So what have we got here? So this is OGB-108. So this is the gig bag. We'll come to that in a little while. Let's just pop that down on the floor. And here we have the actual Omnichord. Love the box. I lift that out. Would you take the brown box?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Sure. So just take that up.
Look at that. Omnichord by Suzuki, and interestingly it's quite similar to the original System 2, the OM-84
And of course I've noticed the logo is remarkably similar to the original.
Yeah, made a really nice job of that.
And so there's a lot of detail being put into this, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Which
So
is,
the box looks similar.
yeah.
Omnichord logo is very familiar. Lovely
Yeah,
colours as
yeah.
well.
So we're really going back to the basics of the origins of the whole product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we open it up and have a look?
I think we should. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to grab that end?
Okay.
So if I pull the outer box, you take
Okay.
the inside.
Right. I got it. Okay. Right. Exciting stuff.
So it's cardboard. So if you've got an original Omnichord, you'll probably remember that it's polystyrene.
Ah.
This obviously is more
So those
recyclable.
Right. Okay. So let's go on with this.
Oh, keyboard overlay.
Yes, keyboard overlay. It's fighting stain. Okay. Now to the wrapper. Okay. It's never going to come out. Right, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
And here it is. Yeah. Wow. Actually, Darren, this seems... Is it my imagination, but it seems slightly smaller than the...
That's exactly right. Let's grab an OM-84.
Okay.
So that was definitely one of the briefs. Put it in front there,
Right.
so that so you can see it at home. See, it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember we were talking on the Omnichord and Q-Chord Facebook group, and quite a few had mentioned that they wanted something smaller and lighter. So it's not too much lighter, only about 100 grams, but definitely smaller. I remember Penny Bryant was wanting something more portable that she could use on gigging. So hopefully that's made you happy, Penny. I know a lot of gigging musicians will be happy with that new size.
And of course, the older models had bigger batteries too, didn't they? So
They did,
I suppose by comparison that will make it lighter as well if you're using batteries.
Yeah, we'll come back to that later.
Okay.
So looking at the front panel, it's smaller, a bit busier, but it's still got that classic Omnichord look about it. We've got the rubber chord buttons with a couple of extra ones. I know for years Rob Vanderplas has wanted suspended and augmented chords, so there you go, Rob. There's something there for you.
Yep, you got your own way, Rob. By the way, these are retro, aren't they?
Yeah, volume control knobs.
Yeah.
They look very familiar.
They do,
The
yeah.
OM-27. So Jenny Omnichord, Jenny Mitchell, that was one of her wants, that had to go back to these original rotary control because when you're gigging, it's just easy to control one of those, whereas
Sure.
the Q-Chord is having to press the little down and up buttons wasn't
That's
so
right.
good for live use
No, that's
as
right.
this one is. So and there's of course there's the organ voice on there, so that's another one that she wanted.
Oh, where's the demo button?
Yeah, so we're very happy to have lost the demo button.
Gosh.
Yeah, so
What a shock.
yeah, so if apology if you really wanted to play When the Saints Go Marching in lots of different styles, disco, bossa nova, or whatever, don't have that feature anymore. Don't think we'll miss that too much. Do you?
No.
I
It
don't
wasn't
think
my favourite tune.
No.
No.
so the strum plate, we'll notice that's wider than the original OM-84 strum plate. So Ted Sawerka, another guy on Facebook, one of the Facebook groups, mentioned that a more sensitive and ergonomic strum plate would be good. So it's ergonomic because you've got the width there, and this is sensitive right across the width. So although it's reminiscent to the OM-84, you've got that, you can get a nice arc to it, so it's a much more natural way of playing. The drums, so Rachel Pearl was talking about the drums, how it would be nice to have more contemporary sounding drum loops.
Okay, yeah.
So Suzuki worked really hard to find 10 patterns that both sounded like the original. So we've got the original drum voicing, analog drums from the OM-84, as well as the OM-108 own sound. Both of them very retro sounding. There's a really nice selection of 10 patterns there to just about suit any genre of music. They're simple but really effective, just as the original ones were. Voicing as well, we've got a really nice selection of classic and new voices. Omni 1 and Omni 2, so that's like the OM-84. So you've got two strum plate voices that you can use together, and they're controlled by the main and the sub. So you can bring in the first one, use that on the strum plate, and then just add a second voice. So if you're using Omni, it's going to be like a vibrato, like the OM-84.
Very clever, yeah.
Yeah, it is. So they've done a lot of research on that. I'm sure you've seen Yu Hoyuchi from Suzuki demoing those drums on YouTube. I know he was very well liked, so thank you, Yu, because he played a big role in the development of this. So moving away from the top panel, which is kind of a shame because it's so beautiful, but let's have a look at what we've got around the outside in the way of ports. DC 12 volt 1 amp. So that's caused us some interesting issues over the years. It's a negative polarity, and it's the same as the original Omnichord. So that's that was a decision made, because if you happen to have an OM-27 in your bag and you accidentally plug in the wrong Omnichord adapter.
Well, I think it's easy to do, isn't it? You know, if you have something and you store it away for a few years and then bring it out, you get you know, a normal 12 volt adapter, plug it in and bang, you know, and then that's, you know, not good, is it?
Yeah,
so
we don't want to see your broken Omnichords. So we use the same type of adapter, so both negative. So you can use an old one on here, but it's going to burst. So really you need to use a switched mode power supply. So most of the modern adapters for the Q cord that Suzuki make are switched mode. We've got one here actually. So it's a nice lightweight adapter. So if you've got one of those heavy ones, it's not really ideal for the OM-108. Suzuki definitely recommend that you don't use it. But the good thing is, if you've got the new type, you're not going to blow up your OM-27 or your OM-84. What else have we got on here? So line out, so really good for giggy musicians. So you can go into your PA, straight into a desk, into your laptop, and we've also got speaker on and off. So if you're playing live, you know, sometimes you want to use the speaker to monitor your sound. Sometimes you don't want it, so if you're in the studio you might not want the sound coming out there as well. So that was another thing that people requested, so Suzuki added that. Headphone socket. I have to say the sound through the headphones and through this speaker is just amazing. If you've got an OM-27 at home, you know that bass is really, really effective, and Suzuki worked hard to get that same kind of feel, so it's really good bass line. And that comes through both the headphones and internal speaker. So moving around to the MIDI out, we're quite excited about the MIDI out specifications on this, because it's vastly improved over the previous ones. Yeah. I think you were saying about them being a little lacking before in MIDI spec.
Well, I think you know, with recording studios and outlets like that, that really want to do more with the product than perhaps the average person in his living room. But so that would bridge the gap, I think, really, if it could be if it's more versatile now on the MIDI side, then that's really good.
So it handles the channels a little differently to previous Omnichords. We've got two separate strum plate channels, channel 1 and channel 4. So channel 1 is the main, channel 4 is the sub. That gives you the opportunity to really layer some beautiful sounds using your own MIDI equipment. Another thing that they've added is the ability to change volume and sustain, so decay, delay, that's affected in real time by these rotary controls. So you can adjust it as you play. That's a really lovely feature. So channel 2 we've got as the chords, channel 3 is bass, and then channel 10 is drums. So there's plenty to play with, but there's lots more features that you can read about in the owner's manual.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it for MIDI. There's much more to it than we've just mentioned there. And then if we just have a look underneath, we've got right upside down for you. So we've got really nicely reproduced original label. Notice the serial number. 00001. Suzuki kindly sent us the very first Omnichord off of the production line, so we're really excited to have that out here. Thank you, Suzuki, that means a lot. Battery box. Okay, so if you remember before, we had those really big, heavy,
The chunky ones. Yes,
yeah.
that's
You
right.
was mentioning something about
Well,
batteries.
what about the USB charger?
Yeah, that's it. So quite a lot of you wanted USB charging. Suzuki did think about it. They decided against it though because of proprietary battery packs. So, some of you using 40-year old Omnichords. In 20 years' time, when you can't get those proprietary battery packs,
Right.
or you can't find spare ones, and you're on a gig, you're in trouble. So they've given us AA battery compartment. So 8 AA batteries in there, and you can use NIMH, so you can use rechargeable ones, so there's no reason why you shouldn't take a battery charger with you and a spare set of batteries. But Suzuki felt that was a much better and more reliable method of powering the Omnichord than using proprietary battery packs and the chargers that go along with it.
And rechargeable batteries are safer. I guess,
That's
to use.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about battery leakage. Always a good idea to remove your batteries when you're not using them. We don't want to see these coming in for repair with corroded terminals. There is a USB port there, but that's for factory updates. So it could be that Suzuki will need to give us an update, in which case that's the way we'll be doing it. It's not something that we'll be able to utilise ourselves at home. So that's the Omnichord. What haven't we done? The case. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the gig bag. So let's just pop that to one side. Let's pop it over there. And let's see, have you got your
Yes. Handy knife.
You want me to do it?
Okay.
Okay. So let's carefully open this. So again, I haven't yet seen one of these, only pictures of it. So I'm interested to know what it's like. Going to grab it out there, Howard.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looks very familiar, doesn't it?
Ah.
I have to pull this one down. So look at that. So that's the original silver Omnichord gig bag, and there's our new OM-108 bag there. Looks like quite a tough wearing material, doesn't it? And multiple places for storage. So we've got nice quality zips and 2 compartments. So there's room to keep your spare batteries.
Yeah, so it's the adapter and the whatever you want to put in there.
Yeah,
basically.
music box. So there we go. So we've got the gig bag and the Omnichord. So I think that's a wrap. Do you think so, Howard?
I think it probably
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
So as always, really good to
Nice
work
to see
with you.
Darren. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us here at Suzuki Europe Ltd, and we really hope you enjoy experimenting with the new OM-108.